Hi, I'm Stephen Monkey Mason and this is my very first book review. Can you believe it? I'm doing a book review? I never thought I'd be doing a book review, but here it goes. The main reason I'm doing a book review is just to give a special thanks to Brian Freeman. Turned 30 last year, and up until that point I never read a book in my life. Main reason why is in school I was told that I was dyslexic. So I never read a book. I've ended up watching thousands upon thousands of films, doing video work and all kinds of stuff, but I've never grasped the fact of why people read. Never got it. But now, over the last couple of years, my reading has evolved a lot more, and I started reading a book. Now, the story why I started reading a book was my car broke down one day. Woohoo! 100,000 miles on my car, baby! Woohoo! Can you remember when I was on about 100,000 miles in my car? 100,000 miles, yeah, brilliant, look at that. 100,000 miles. 100,000 miles. I thought it was going to be an achievement. So I couldn't get to work unless I get the bus. I'm at the bus stand, there's absolutely no one here. It's as windy as shit. And the bus isn't for 40 minutes. Why did my car have to break? So I'm now at the metro centre, it's completely empty. No one's at work yet to let me in, so I just have to wait. Wait and wait and wait. At the metro centre. It's quite beautiful, you know, when it's quiet. Try not to show any shop logos, but yeah. I'm going to read my book. But yeah, hated it, had to get the bus for a while to work when my car was getting fixed. And then I picked up this at work, The Bone House by Brian Freeman. The cover is what got us, you know, very nice and orangey and stuff. And I started reading it and I couldn't put it down. This might contain spoilers because I've never done a book review. I'm not sure what you should say, shouldn't say. But no, it's a brilliant read. A story about a person who was accused of murdering a girl, and the entire small town sort of gangs up on this couple. And basically there's a haunting secret from the past which re-emerges later on. Brilliant. It's a bit vague in my mind because it was that long ago now I read it. So basically I read that book, and Brian Freeman's books are quite hard to come by, especially like in the local shops where I live. And I started trying to read some other books. I'm looking up there because the other books are there. And I didn't enjoy them that much, and to be honest with you, I stopped reading for about 4 months. I literally just couldn't read. I wasn't interested. And then Vicky had got us, Vicky, my wife, you don't know who Vicky is, picked us up The Watcher. Now The Watcher came second hand. It's in a bookshop, you know. She said, oh, that's a Brian Freeman book. And so I picked this up one night and I was sitting right here, and I turned around and I knocked the camera with the book. How unprofessional of this book review, but yeah, that's what happened. I picked the book up from there and I just started reading it while someone was rendering in the background, and I couldn't put the thing down. I was like proper glued to this book. And this is the first book I've read about Detective Stride, who is one of Brian Freeman's main characters. The Bone House is a separate story on its own, but there's a series of these books. This happens to be the fourth in the series, so typical me, I read the fourth one before reading the first one. And this is a really dark origin story of the character Stride, and it's about a guy who watches people, and there's something peculiar going on in this small town, and it's got a lot of twists and turns, what you'll find in a lot of Brian's books. And I literally couldn't put it down, and there used to be a sticker there right over the bit, and I got to the point where this guy's watching people, and I tear back the sticker and there's an actual person standing there. I got really freaked out when I noticed that, when I pulled this sticker back to find it. Then last night, when I was thinking about doing this book review, I stood up and I looked at the picture up there. It's been there for about 3 years now, but the picture's from about 7 years ago, and I got freaked out again. It's very similar to the front cover of that. The Curse of Brian Freeman. The Watcher. Brian Freeman. The Watcher. The Trip's Right Out Now by Brian Freeman and The Watcher, and something from my past. This book though, I loved it. I couldn't put it down. and again, it's just brilliant, you know. So when I finished this book, I went downstairs and I found Brian Freeman's email address, which is in this book anyway. So I emailed Brian, and by this time this book had come in the post, and this is the first book he wrote of the series of Detective Stride. And basically I knew I was going to be reading that the next night, so I sent Brian a message and I was just like, told him exactly what I've just told you guys who's watching this. So I came up to bed and I started reading. Woke up the next morning after about 50 pages into it to find an email back off Brian. I was just like, fuck. You know, that's the only time I'll try and swear in this, but I was just like, it was unbelievable to get a message from Brian, and since then I've been sending replies back to him and stuff like that, which has been absolutely awesome, to be honest with you. So I ended up reading there goes my dyslexia. This was brilliant. In the middle of it there's a big long court case, which I thought I would get bored for a court case, but nah, it's brilliant. You start off, you don't really know what's happened, and it twists and turns, and then the court case sort of reveals stuff. Then it skips forward 3 years, spoiler alert, and basically until the last pages I didn't know what was going to happen, and at the end I was more than satisfied. This is absolutely a brilliant read. Definitely, this was the first of Stride's books. Now after I read that, which I completely loved and couldn't put down, I started reading another one called Stalked, only to find out that that's the third one in the series. I was just like, I can't get this right. So I stopped reading Freeman's series of Stride books until Stripped, which is the next one, which came in the post 2 days ago. I started reading Spilled Blood, which is one of the newest of his books. Again, this is a standalone one, like the Bone House, has nothing to do with the rest of the series of his stuff. This is absolutely brilliant. I missed the character Stride, but this is a standalone story and the freshest in my mind. This will have spoilers in it. Follows three girls who meet randomly in a place. They are their hometowns, and in the morning one of them is dead and one of them has been arrested for murder, and the other one is just freaked out, doesn't know really what's happened. There's lots of twists and turns. The girl who has been arrested, dad, comes back to town, who is a lawyer, to try and find out what's happened. There's basically one town here, one town there, and they're feuding because there's been a cancer cluster. Now when this started talking about cancer, I was just like, whoa. I've been affected by cancer with my family in the past, and sometimes I just try to block it out. But Brian Freeman handled this brilliantly and I really enjoyed it. Again, there's this cancer cluster going on, and one town blames the other town for it happening because of this facility which manufactures stuff they don't know. So there's a big conspiracy of what's going on. One girl's dead, and basically it keeps going and going. It's absolutely brilliant, and at the end, big spoiler alert, the dam gets blown up and there's a massive flood and all kinds of chaos is kicking off. And again, right until the last page, I didn't know what the fuck was going on. That's twice I've sworn, sorry. So I finished that, and now I've got these ones to read. So I think the official order goes something like, why have you written so many books, Brian? Chucking me all over the place. I think it goes something like that, what I've got. So yeah, I got that one for Christmas off Vicky, which is awesome. But yeah, for someone who didn't start reading until he's 30, I mean, I haven't read them ones, but there's a load up there I have read. I'm not mentioning who they are, as I said before, but no, Brian Freeman, definitely check him out if you like any kind of reading. Twists, turns, bit of humour in there, quite dark in some places, some of the content, really, really good. Definitely check them out, and I'm surprised Spilled Blood isn't actually being turned into a movie right now, because it's literally, it's really good. How many times do I want to say really good? But anyway, I'm Stephen Monkey Mason, and I will do a part 2 when I've read the rest of the books, which is probably going to be about 6 months to a year, because again, I try to read, but I try to make videos, and I just thought it'd be nice to take the time out to say thank you to Brian Freeman for introducing me to the world of reading.